Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be unboxing $1,600 worth of cleanup crew that is going to be going into the 1,000-gallon tank. This is all coming from reefcleaners.org. I've used them a few times for my personal tanks and actually used them here for some of the downstairs tanks. So we've got some close to 2,000 critters today in the box. I just got the package a little bit ago, so I just figured I'd unbox it, show you the process of how I'm going to acclimate them, and get these guys in the tank, because now that we've gotten the phosphate lower, it's actually starting to grow some green algae. It's kind of weird with phosphate. When it's so high, it doesn't seem to really grow anything, but all right, so opening up the box. I've had pretty good experiences with the Reef Cleaners website. Like I said, I've used it a few times. Anytime I've had issues, they've been quick to respond. John Maloney on the he's the one who runs the site. He's been quick to respond and always helped me out, so he gave me refunds. All right, so I'll give you a quick look at what we're looking at here. So no, looks like no heat packs today, which honestly, in my experience so far, one time I had an order that was delivered from them. Also, it did not have heat packs, so the heat packs were like already cold, and I was convinced everything was dead because of how cold the water was, but everything came back to life. So we're just going to go ahead and get this all floated as soon as possible. Quite a bit. Thumbnails, maybe. All right, let's go ahead and get them floated. I'm going to try floating these two giant trash bags just all at once in here, which is definitely not going to work because there's too many stacked on top of one another, so we're going to take them all out. All right, I've got all the bags floating. Go ahead and take a peek. All of them in there now. Kind of crazy to see just how many bags there are. All of them seem to have kept their air, so they're all floating except for one, which is just bunch of dwarf snails. So we're going to go ahead and set up on the other side and start adding these guys in. So quick update for you guys on the 1,000 as well. Last time we showed the tank, it was still kind of a little bit of cyano left over. We're almost completely gone now. There's quite a bit of green algae starting to take over on the rocks now, so these guys are going to have plenty of food, which is just perfect timing for adding these guys. So especially with the amount we're adding. Usually you wouldn't want to add as much as we're adding right now, but this tank's been going for a whole year, so it's not a new tank. It's not just freshly cycled or something. There's plenty for these guys to eat in here, and I think they're just going to do fine. Also, there are no cleanup crew in the tank right now. I don't know why. That's how it's been for well over a year. Zero cleanup crew. So yeah, they're going to be just fine. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and set you up, and I'll go ahead and start opening them up. Reef Cleaners actually's acclimation guide states for all the animals right now to don't drip acclimate, to just kind of float them in the bags for 15 to 30 minutes, get them to temperature, cut the bags, drop them in. Obviously, snails that can't right themselves, you're going to have to make sure they're not, upside down, help give them the best start. What I like to do when I do a big order like this is kind of pick a spot. This is kind of a good spot because there's no sand. I'm going to put everything right here, best I can. And my goal will be to, get everyone stationed where they're righted, they're not upside down or anything, right? Best I can, of course. And then that way, in a couple days or a day from now, 2 days from now, anything that hasn't moved yet, I can see it was dead on arrival, and then reach back out to John at Reef Cleaners and get a refund for those, because he does refund you for anything that is dead on arrival. So just to share with you guys, kind of like a little bit of the opening up. I'm not going to open all the bags in the camera. It's going to take 30 minutes to do that, but all I'm doing, checking. So with Reef Cleaners, they put everything in the bag, usually a little bit of water and a paper towel. I pull that paper towel out, make sure there's no, pesky snails sneaking on it. Pull them out nice and gently. Dump the extra water out, just in my bucket down here. Another paper towel. Then I'm just dumping them in the tank. This one's got all kinds of snails trying to get stuck. And just a nice handful of snails. dumping them in the tank. And moving on to the next bag, and I'm gonna do this about 35 more times, so super interesting. Just a quick look though. A crazy just mosh pit because I've put them all in the same spot. I'm gonna go through and kind of start helping out the snails, get them to the side of the wall, and make sure they're not getting attacked by hermits, because hermits are usually pretty savage as soon as you put them in the tank. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll catch back up with you guys. About an hour later of opening bags and getting things situated and sorted and spaced out a little bit. We've got everything in the tank, so I'm gonna go ahead and show it off, just kind of show out some of the stuff that we've got. So we've got just about 300 or so assorted hermit crabs. I believe we've got 5 turbo snails in there, 30 or so bumblebee snails, 1,000 dwarf Sarah snails, which are super small. I've got them kind of on the rocks, just hanging out on top. They kind of help with the getting in the real small cracks. 300 Astera snails, which are these white shelled ones here. 200 Nearite snails, which are an easier version of them, will be right over here. See? About 200 of these black and white, which are the Nearite snails. And then additionally, I have put in a silver lip conch and a spider conch. I'm not sure which one is which on these guys, for which one's a spider and which one's a silver lip, but they're really cool looking. I'm excited to see them. Apparently they can get pretty big, up to like 9 inches, I believe it said online. So, and we've also got 30 or 40 of those Nacera snails, the ones that go under the sand right here actually. Real big fan of these. They remind me of SpongeBob. I wish that there was labeling on the bags, because it's very hard when you order $1,600 worth of items to know what it is that you're getting, how many are in each bag, because the way that they're bagged is just unmarked, unlabeled, no counts. So you're kind of just taking it at value, like that there's enough there. I definitely do think we did, but there's situations where, like today's order, we did not get 2 pencil urchins that, you know, were said to have been in this shipment, and they weren't. I'm sure we'll get a refund, no big deal, but that would be one thing that I would really like when you order this much of something, that there was labels on the bags to know kind of what you're putting in, right? Because it's tough when, like, you don't have, one, it's hard to know what is what when you're looking at it, right? I'm not an expert on snails, so knowing the difference between a Nearite snail and an Astera snail, that's easy. But some of the other ones, it's a little more challenging, right? Like if I did or did not get all of my Photoceras, is a bit challenging, right? Very small. I feel pretty good about it, and like I said, whenever I reach out, I do get quick response. So that's today's video. I know there's not much going on here. I'm just adding crabs and snails to a tank, but I want to keep progress tracking of this tank, so one of the things we're going to do is add anything accrued, so I might as well have a video on it. I intend on doing a video very soon about why I made these kind of selections, show you what I've also done for my own personal tank. When should you add your own fin accrued, kind of tips and tricks, more of like a you know, a how-to or a guide type of thing, because I know when I was searching for this kind of information at the beginning of the hobby, I watched a lot of videos to kind of decide what I want. So show you what worked for me. And yeah, for the next steps in this 1,000, we're going to be adding the clam in here very soon, and then the corals are going to be going in as well. Probably going to spend the rest of today getting the detritus off the back of these rocks and maybe repositioning these flow, because that's still something we're working on here. So appreciate you coming and checking out the channel and the video again today. Stay tuned for a whole lot more. Thanks.